Hello there, this is James, and you're watching Tixee Live on the road. Today, I want to have a quick chat about all the talk that a lot of central banks are doing, obviously because we have the ECB forum, and the impact that is having on the market. But before I get to that, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only and should never be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get started. Like I said before, it's Tixee Live on the road, so I'm not in my usual studio, so I can't control my environment, but hopefully I'm loud enough to drown out all the other news. But anyway, let's get on with it. So what's happening? Well, basically, in a nutshell, there is a lot more talk, which is having a huge impact on the market. Because as I said yesterday and the day previous, what you have is you have a lot of hawkish talk, even surprisingly for somebody I consider it dumb, this hawkish talk, which I'll get to in a minute, which is impacting the market because we're also having poor economic data at the same time. So this is why the market is now fearful, yes, you're right, of the dreaded R word. But let's start with the talk. First of all, Fed Chair Jay Powell, the inflation terminator, as I call him, when asked if their approaches to what the Fed is planning to do can impact the economy, his said was economic slowdown would be a likely outcome of the actions they may do. To top it off, the person who I did consider a dove, ECB President Lagarde, she said inflation in the Eurozone is undesirably high and the central bank will go as far as necessary to bring it down. That's actually pretty hawkish for her. And finally, Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey, he says UK economy's starting to slow while inflation is expected to climb. So yes, very hawkish and very negative talk from those three key members of three key central banks. In fact, thanks to Bailey, well, not just because of Bailey, but the sterling itself is actually on course for its biggest six-month loss against the greenback. That's actually down 10%, over 10%. We'll get to the cable in a bit. As well as that, the ECB has asked lenders in the EU to calculate recession risks. There seems to be no good news at the moment. Recession risks, which means on the outcome of all this, basically, European shares face the worst quarter since the carnage of 2020. So basically, in other words, they're trading at their lowest since the height of the pandemic in 2020. So who's benefiting from all this? Well, you've guessed it. US dollar takes the crown. Yes, the US dollar as a safe haven is attracting a lot of investors. In fact, the dollar yen is, many people expect it to maybe at least get to 138, as of course we have the all-important FOMC minutes on the horizon. This is according to Westpac. They expect it to go to 138. Do I have any good news? No, I don't actually, because we had the initial claims from the US has come in. It was announced at 231,000 versus 228,000 expected. Don't forget, the US initial claims is the number of people within a week who signed on for unemployment benefit for the first time. So yes, more negative news. So we have a lot of negative talk, a lot of negative data. So how does the market stand? Good question. Well, currently, as it stands, gold is currently trading at $1,825.24. Euro is now currently trading, as I talk, at 1.0495. The cable, the British pound US dollar, as I said, is facing its worst loss in 6 months against the US dollar, 121.46. And the dollar yen is currently trading around 136.02. Indices wise, like I say, the European shares are facing its worst experience since the 2020 pandemic. FTSE is currently negative, minus 2.25% down. DAX is currently down negative 2.44%. And Eurostoxx currently trading at negative 2.20%. So we've had all that news today. Anything else, Stu? Yes, of course. The big one, the one I'm looking forward to the most, which I will cover again tomorrow, which of course is the EU CPI inflation report. I think that potentially could be massive. And as well as that, we have the US ISM manufacturing. So yeah, a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of doom and gloom. And despite all the optimism we had on Monday and Tuesday, like I said on Monday, I don't think that good, happy feeling would last long. Unfortunately, I'm proving to be right for once. But anyway, this is Tixie Live on the road. Again, I apologize. It's not my normal surroundings, so I can't control the environment, but it's all part of the experience. I'm in Liverpool at the moment, in the Cavern Club. I've got John up there. You know what I mean? Huge Beatles fan. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed this little episode. Don't be back online again tomorrow, similar sort of time, to cover, really talk about the consumer price index from the EU. So please come along and join me. And as I always say, if you're watching me on Facebook, watching the show on Facebook, by all means, if you like it, give us a follow. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like it, by all means, if you want to, subscribe if you like. Hit the notification button next time I'm going online. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again, you guys again tomorrow. This has been Tixie Live on the road. And remember, as I always say, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.